What is the most fucking useless thing that they teach in school? That sticking up for yourself is wrong. I punched a kid in the face because he was being physically abusive to me. He grabbed my arms and spun us in circles, intending to let go once I would be sort of thrown through the air. I got an arm loose and punched him in the face before that happened. Instead of him being expelled, I, a female half his size, was forced to apologize for defending myself. I'm still fucking mad. We had written finals for P.E. It was so ridiculous that even the P.E. teachers didn't really bother reading our answers while grading the exams. Example questions. A friend of mine answered, "Describe the history of the football," with an elaborate answer about how a guy stuck on an island kicked a coconut and due to a quantum anomaly, his foot fused with the coconut. This led to the birth of the legend of the football. Another friend answered, "What is an aerobic exercise?" with a drawing of a man doing push-ups in their presence of a chemistry set creating oxygen via hydrogen peroxide, and drew arrows to them labeling the reaction and the push-ups as aerobic and exercise respectively. Another friend answered a question about things to keep in mind when trying to eat a balanced diet for health with points like try not to eat a brick wall. Only one of them failed. One of them had their final exam sheet framed. DARE was the single worst fucking useless thing ever taught at school. Especially when the cop teaching said class ends up getting arrested for coke. That if someone's bullying you, you tell them that you don't like it. Like no shit. That's why they do it. Not a lesson, but they teach you to respect adults no matter what. That's how teachers get away with so much nonsense. It's how parents get away with abuse. Kids are taught to respect adults, but what they really teach them is don't do anything to inconvenience an adult. So a kid is more likely to keep their mouth shut if they're getting molested or beat. They need to teach instead that respect is earned and not to blindly trust people just because they have seniority or authority over you. That you have a right to make a judgment on somebody if they're doing something bad. Character counts. It was our school's motto. The school also actively punished honesty and integrity when it mattered, and instead held award ceremonies for students who showed basic human decency like, "Hey, you dropped this in the hallway. Here you go." You would get awards for not being a piece of shit. But if you decide to show any real character like stepping up for your friends when they're in trouble, you get detention. Let it be known. Arundel Secondary School in Ontario, Canada is a shithole. Ignoring the bully, she will go away. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And #X200B. That needs to chance. I'm sorry, but if someone is bullying my child on a day-to-day basis, my son has every right to take charge. How to take care of a baby by 1. Bringing in an egg. 2. Having the teacher sign the egg. 3. Decorating, protecting, and carrying the egg at all times for 2 days. 4. Revealing to the teacher at the end of day 2 that the egg was still intact, without cracks. All that taught me was how to take care of an egg. Zero tolerance policy is the dumbest thing ever taught and implemented. All it teaches is to fear authority when you're the victim. It enables the perpetrator, who is normally a bully. I know administrators are lazy fucks, but they need to actually investigate the goddamn problem instead of saying, "Hey, you both were involved in the issue, so you're both going to get punished." It basically just raises you to hate authority. And while I don't like authorities either, I don't think they're all distrustful. Although, I guess this could be interpreted as commentary on how garbage authority is. Abstinence-only sex ed. Not exactly something they teach in general. But in my high school music class, We had to memorize our national anthem in a different language. We used to be a colony and it was originally written in the colonizer's language. And then sing it out loud with the same melody and all. Except you're parroting a bunch of words that you don't understand. Over a decade later, and I still think it was a pointless exercise. Our elementary school was heavy into unicycles. Gym class year-round was learning to ride, then ride together, and in formation. I was one of the unlucky few who never got it. I can't dance or ride a bike either, so I suspect there's some balance issues. School but threatened to hold me back a year until I learned how. Everyone forgot and never picked it up again as soon as they moved to middle school. Worst part is that we were a very poor school in a very rural area without much funding. I can't imagine how much the school spent on those unicycles. There was no sponsorship, and we weren't competing in anything. Edit. This was in a public school in Western Washington state in the late 80s. But I think some other schools nearby did this too. Nearby high school is Mt. CHS aka the actual Twin Peaks HS*. Not even remotely kidding. That the female body will shut down during rape and she won't get pregnant. Thus babies cannot be conceived during rape. Catholic grammar school. Northern Ireland. Fucking useless. Factually and ethically wrong. When I was in primary school we got taught about digital roots. It's where you take a number, add up all the digits and repeat if you have more than one digit. So 684 equals 6 plus 8 plus 4 equals 18 equals 1 plus 8 equals 9. Nobody else has ever heard of this. Square dancing. I'm from Texas, and in Texas history class we learned way too much about the Battle of the Alamo. Memorizing the periodic table. It's a table. There is no need to memorize it. All the info is there already. Square dancing. It was put into the curriculum at U.S. schools after heavy lobbying from industrialist Henry Ford. He didn't like the awful, new modern dances people were doing, like the Charleston. My old high school decided that PE wasn't important, and instead of having 2 periods where we would be exercising and learning about the human body, they made us take spiritual development. I hated my old high school. Edit. I see a lot of meditation comments. No, we didn't learn to meditate. That class was about reading Bible stories to help us become more religious. It was fucking bullshit. Yes, it was a private Christian school. Edit 2. To clarify, PE was compulsory until grade 11. That's when that spiritual development bullshit came in and PE became an elective subject. My friends who took it said they learned about human movement, muscles of the body and how to prevent injuries. I fucking loved playing sports, but another class that was more important clashed with PE, so I couldn't take it.